National Lead Industries is a giant American industrial corporation with sales of over $1 billion. National Lead has 37 plants in foreign countries all over the world. It employs nearly 30,000 workers in the United States, and in 1972 showed a profit after taxes of nearly $63 million and had an average sales of over $40,000 per employee. The Morris P. Kirk plant in Vernon, California is part of this industrial empire. In the past 2 years, National Lead's own figures and the figures of the Federal Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, show that the levels of lead fume in the air at the LA plant are more than 11 times higher than the federal law is supposed to allow.
This is the position paper from the concerned steel workers at National Lead. National Lead Industries in Vernon is poisoning hundreds of workers with lead. Company blood lead counts show that over 40% of the employees have been absorbing an excessive amount of lead. In some departments, 3 out of 4 are absorbing excessive lead. Union tests on the workers confirm this fact. The management at National Lead has been unconcerned with the health of the workers and grossly negligent about cleaning up the plant. National Lead also refuses to recognize that many men at the plant are sick because of lead poisoning. We have not had any help in the past, nor do we expect any help in the future from the Air Pollution Control District or the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. And because of this, it's clear that any improvements that will come because of the actions of the men in the plant.
Since Eddie's been sick, it's been really hard for us to get by. With both of us sick, we aren't much help to each other. He's so irritable at times, I can't stand him. And he's been vomiting too much, it seems. And he's had a noticeable loss of weight, and his memory is really slipping a lot. All he wants to do is sleep or lay around the house, and he just seems like he just doesn't have any energy to do anything. His muscles and joints are so stiff and aches all the time, and when he does walk, all he wants to do is sit down. And when he sits still, sometimes I notice that he starts shaking all over like he has the DTs. He can't hear very well anymore, and this Dr. Dahlgren found he even had lead underneath his gums. And these things, they just haven't started, not recently. They've started ever since he's been in the plant, and they just get worse and worse and worse. And now that we're expecting a baby, we're kind of afraid that, you know, since we did lose our first one, that maybe this one won't make it either. Because it sure doesn't look like it has a very good chance of my husband having lead poison.
Back in August, I saw 56 of you for purposes of evaluating lead poisoning among people who are working at National Lead. Since then, 30 of you have come into the office for more complete evaluation. We've found that many of you have serious effects from excessive lead in your body.
I have a steady constipation and everything, and getting sleepy, dizzy, have a less sex drive, and it's like I lose the appetite and everything else.
But let's talk about the things that will shorten your life. Things which will disable you much earlier than you would ordinarily be disabled. Things which will build up over a period of years and make you an old man before your time. The heart is damaged by lead. It becomes enlarged and filled with scar tissue.
Since I started working in that company, I started getting sick. I've been having sharp pains in my stomach, cramps in my legs, shaking, and every time I go in the back house upstairs, I run out of breath, and at the same time I feel dizzy.
We've also found a number of the men have damage to the nerves in their arms, and some have damage to their brains.
Muchas veces he tenido problemas porque no he podido dormir bien y me han dado pastillas, cápsulas para dormir, por lo cual he podido dormir un poco más, pero no me siento todavía débil mis piernas no me responden a veces bien. Cuando me siento bien es únicamente cuando tomo cápsulas que ellos mismos me dieron para el dolor. Pero el zumbido, el ruido en mi cabeza continúa. Únicamente me lo calman un poco y después continúa. Todas las mañanas despierto con un demasiado ruido en mi cabeza y mi garganta un sabor como a cobre y demasiado amargo.
The scar tissue that forms in the brain and the heart and the kidneys won't get better. And this lead damage will affect you for the rest of your lives.
I would like for all the guys to know this that work out there. Don't ever want to get leaded because you don't feel right again. And you just don't have the power, the strength to do anything that you used to do. It makes you feel like you're an old man if you are a young man. So that's lost everything I had.